What's up? It's Juice Beats, back again with another race video. And this one is the Relentless Sprint Series race on the Downtown Dolphin in Zwift, 6 laps. So it's gonna be fairly quick, less than a 20-minute race overall. So I gotta put the pedal to the metal and punch down those watts throughout this race. And here we go. We're getting ready to get started here. And like I've said in the past, if you watched any of my races on Zwift before, you gotta push those watts out early. You wanna get out in the front and stay in that front group. It doesn't look like there's a ton of racers in this race to start out with, but yeah, anytime that I get into a Zwift race, I wanna make sure that I'm in that front group to start out with. And I am punching those watts, and I know that it's gonna be at least a minute or two for me to push out the watts at the beginning. So I gotta prepare myself to be, you know, in that 350 to 400 range early on to stay up there in the front. And so this is on the Downtown Dolphin loop. If you're, you know, kind of familiar with this Zwift race, then you know what's coming. But if you're not familiar, basically this one, it's fairly flat throughout. There's a couple little rollers, and then in the middle of this race, there is a ramp up. So that one is about a 15-second incline, and so that's kind of one of the deciders in this race usually. So if you can go up that one with a lot of watts and stay up at the front, you'll be able to do okay on this race course. So here we go, right up there. This is that ramp that I'm talking about. It does, let's see what it gets up to, because it's been a while since 5% at one point there. And yeah, so 6% at the very top there. So it's not a terribly steep ramp or anything like that, but it is kind of an equalizer for the race there. So if you don't punch it up that hill enough, that's where you can get left behind. And I punched it up pretty well on that first lap there, and it looks like, yep, I got that polka dot jersey to start out with on this race course. Yep, it's been a while since I posted any race footage or anything like that, and basically there haven't been any races close to me on, you know, that I could fit into my schedule. My schedule right now has been, you know, shooting weddings, shooting sessions, and stuff like that. I am a wedding and portrait photographer, so that's taking up most of my time. So yeah, YouTube had to take a little backseat for a little bit for me, but I have been still training and working out for the last month or so. I'm getting ready to do a race in Dalton, Georgia. It's gonna be a road race. I think it's about 56 miles or so. I did a road race in Georgia earlier this year, and if you watched my channel earlier this year, I was in the breakaway, and yeah, you can check the video out from earlier this year. But yeah, I was in the breakaway on that one and just had a terrible mistake that cost me basically my whole race. So you can check that out on the channel. I'll put the link down in the description as well. Going into this race, I felt pretty decent. I think that whole week I had done some pretty good workouts, but I wanted to get back into racing. Talked to my coach and said, you know, could I, instead of doing the certain workout that I had, I think this race was on a Friday. So I was like, you know, could I, instead of doing the workout that I'm about to do with the punchiness, could I just go ahead and do like a Zwift race and get kind of a similar workout out of it? And she said, yeah, that'd be great. So jumped into this race, and yeah, It's a little bit shorter than what my workout would have been, so I think I did some extra after this race as well. But yeah, I just wanted to get some of that punchiness and kind of get that race feeling back again. So still going up that ramp. For me, I want to be one of the first ones to get to it, just in case, you know, kind of, because a lot of the guys that ride are a lot smaller than me. I'm usually one of the bigger ones in the race there. So I want to get to that ramp either first or, you know, one of the top people in that at that point there. So if I can get to that ramp and kind of push it up a little bit, then I can kind of sag a little bit back and follow back into the peloton there. But here we go. These are the rollers that I was talking about a little bit earlier, and these rollers about right there at the end is where I usually try to ramp it up for my sprint, because that's, I think, around 250 meters away from the finish line. And of course there's this big, you know, turn at the end, but I don't have turning capabilities or anything on my setup, so it really doesn't matter. I can kind of punch through that entire thing. And so that's usually around the point where you want to start ramping up. Sometimes it's a little bit earlier. You just kind of have to gauge it on who's trying to make a break at the end there. But that's usually where I try to make it happen. And as you can see, I'm kind of leading the group at this point, and not. I mean, in normal racing, I wouldn't be up to the front like this. I would probably be back in the group and drafting a little bit more, saving my energy. But in Zwift racing, the drafting is a little bit different, and you really, I mean, even though it says what place you are, it's really tough to kind of tell sometimes where you are, because of, you know, everybody's linked up through the internet, so there's some delays. There's different things that go on. So what I'm trying to do is just, you know, keep the power down to a manageable level, and kind of watch myself, make sure that I'm not pushing too hard and that I'm still conserving energy. So it feels like I'm, you know, drafting in a real race, basically. So here we go. That was that one where, you know, I got to the hill here first, and then yeah, kind of sagged a little bit back. But then, you know, I sagged a little bit too much, so I had to punch it up the hill a little bit better after that. And I seem to be getting PRs every time I go up this hill. I don't know. I guess we're flying pretty good there. So here we go. We're almost halfway through already. So like I said, this is a super fast, really short race. 6 laps is not a ton on this course. I think the laps are only maybe like a little bit over a mile or so. But it was pretty fast throughout. All right, I skipped forward a couple laps, and here we go, going into the last lap. So this is the last 1.2 miles left. Here we go. All right, I've got the aero boost for the end. I've saved that one. I haven't really needed any boosts or anything like that throughout the race. I've just, you know, kept the power down and kept going like I normally would. But aero boost, saving that one for the end. That'll help a little bit, I guess, in the sprint at this point. We're all together. I think it's pretty tough on Zwift to get a breakaway going. I think you'd have to be in, you know, really, really strong to get a breakaway on a crit race like this. I think it works a little bit better in the road races and stuff like that, but on these crit races, it's almost like we're rubber banded together, and as soon as you start to kind of break off a little bit, they kind of swing back into your draft. So I am just trying to stay up close to the front here, almost going into this last little hill area in just a second, coming around this turn here. And let's see what I do here. Do I keep the power down pretty well? I wasn't the first one through the line, but here we go. Yeah, putting that power down. Got to stay up front, got to stay up close. Putting a lot more power, I think, down than I had in the past laps here. And one of the things that you gotta do coming up over that hill as well is make sure that you keep that power down through the over the top, and that'll keep you going as well. So here we go, going into that last 0.4. I guess I accidentally hit a button there. I got a little picture or something. So here we go, those last little rollers here. I'm sitting in fourth position. I've got to punch it here. We're going over 30 miles an hour. And this is where it looks like somebody went a little bit early there and got a real big break there. And then I'm starting to sprint. I don't think I get that great of a sprint out of it, but I was able to get in front here. I'm going into this finish line in second place here. Boom. Hit that finish line at second place, but so I see that I got second place here, and we see that the guy in first had a 3.6 watts per kilogram average. So what happened is I guess he got relegated because the max for the C group is, I think, 3.2. And if you get a little bit over, so I got 3.3, it doesn't matter, but 3.6 is basically B level. So he got relegated, and I ended up getting first place out of on Zwift Power. So pretty good race, and not too bad running against a guy that was 3.6 watts per kilogram over there and just took off on us at the very end, but wasn't terribly far behind him. And honestly, I think if I had seen him go a little bit earlier, I think I was sitting behind those guys at the end, and just not realizing that he was getting a little bit of a gap. But if I had seen that a little bit earlier, I think I would have been able to overtake him there at the end. I just didn't catch on to it very quickly. But so first place win on the Relentless series race there on the Downtown Dolphin. And I've got some more races coming up. Obviously, I'm going to do some more Zwift races in the meantime until the real outside race. But hopefully I'll be able to get some of those videos up for you guys. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you know when I post videos. But I will see you on the next one. Peace.